Okay, 736A, this is another problem. We've done so many of these, but let's work this through. We want the function in the form y equals ab to the x, and a, clearly by now we know, is the y-intercept, and b is the multiplier. So let's find the multiplier. So the multiplier is what we multiply each time to get to the next one. So if they're right next to each other, we can divide, but in this case we're not. So the first time we multiply 3 times something, times x, and then we multiply by x again, and that gets us to 75. So we have 3x squared equals 75, x squared equals 25, and x equals 5, because clearly negative 5 isn't the multiplier because we're getting positive. So the multiplier now is times 5, right? So we know that this one is 15, and then 75 times 5. We could keep going on, right, just by using our calculator and multiplying this out. But the equation now, remember, the a is the 0th element, which is 15. So the equation for part A would be y equals a, which is 15, b, which is the multiplier, 5 to the x power. So that's how we solve part A. Now, moving on to part B, we do a similar thing. So let me get some room here. I'll erase all that. And we can find the multiplier. So we have 77.312 divided by 96.64, and that will give us the multiplier. And if we type that into our calculator, we get 0.8, which is our multiplier. So the multiplier is 0.8, so then we could do the next one times 0.8, and you can do that on your calculator. And to go backwards, instead of multiplying by 0.8, we divide by 0.8, right? And then we do the same there, divided by 0.8, right? So if we take 96.64 and divide it by 0.8, that gives us 120.8. So 120.8 goes here. And then if we take 120.8 and we divide it by 0.8, and we use our calculator for that, we get 151. So this is 151. So remember, in the form y equals ab to the x, the a is the 0th element, which is 151, and the b is the multiplier. So we write y equals a, which is 151, times b, which is the multiplier, which is 0.8, to the x power. And again, if this were on a test, we would then substitute in some values and make sure we get the correct values of y.